Yo, Melissa.
Hey, Craig.
Big episode this week.
Sure is.
A lot of crap to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the sports teams. We got football back, which is really nice.
So nice.
Taking a win for the
You
Patriots.
have a fucking pumpkin spice latte yet?
No.
Not your thing? It totally is your thing, isn't
No,
it?
it's not. I don't.
You hesitated there. Like,
I know.
You looked wistfully off into the distance.
You want to know the truth?
I'd love to know the truth.
I always think that I'm going to like pumpkin flavored.
Yeah.
And then
And then you find out that you love it.
and then I throw on a black North Face and it turns out it's my fucking favorite.
Bingo.
No, I will have one coffee that has pumpkin in it and be like, this is gross. I don't like this.
Yeah.
But every year I do it. I get at least one and I don't like
The
it.
type 2 diabetes is tough to deal with. For sure.
It's like hit your teeth and you just feel instant cavities.
Yeah. Anyways, so big week this week. We've got some Patriots thoughts. We've got some Red Sox thoughts. We've got some tennis takes.
Yeah, well, we talk about it. I wouldn't.
We talk around it, you could say. Anyways, all inside coming your way right now. If you want to get in touch with us, what could the people do?
They can call us at that phone number. I can't remember.
It's 904
Yeah.
87 like Rob Gronkowski. TT Pod.
Clever.
904-87 TT Pod. If you keep your eye on our social media,
Yeah.
which is at Titletown Pod on all relevant platforms, you could you might just see a little question being posed to the audience, in which case feel free to call. But if you don't, fucking call us anyways.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you can leave a message about anything you want.
Any old thing. Don't expect us to pick up. Don't get weirded out by the prospect of us picking up the line. Like that won't happen.
No, that's
it's a
not
voicemail.
gonna
Don't worry.
accidentally happen. I promise.
It's-
no two people want to talk to you on the phone less
Literally
than the
impossible.
two of us.
Literally
Yeah.
impossible. So don't get skeeved out by that. We don't want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to us. It's easy. Anyways, enjoy the episode. What's going on, Burnsy?
Not too much, Craig. How are you?
I'm doing just dandy.
You pumped to have NFL football back?
I don't know if I'm pumped.
Why?
I'm relieved. I would say relieved.
Oh, okay. The last 2 days have
Felt
been
good.
quite autumnal, so it felt natural.
Autumnal?
Autumnal.
Oh, I thought you said optumnal.
Like
an
optimum?
Yeah.
No,
Or I was thinking
autumnal.
like the eye doctor, optician.
No, it's felt very fall-like.
Yeah, no. It's
Sweater
been good.
weather.
Oh, I've enjoyed the cool weather. I certainly enjoyed watching football on Sunday. I'm glad
Yeah,
it's back.
it was nice.
I'm mostly glad that as it relates to you and I and to the New England Patriots, that we can just like talk about football again.
Yeah,
Feels like a very long time since we've actually talked about play on the field.
it has been.
You know what I'm
It's been
saying?
since the first week of February, in fact.
Fucking long time.
It wasn't. That didn't go well. So let's move on to better things.
Let's.
All right.
Should we go around town here and
Yeah.
get caught up?
Kick us off.
All right. The aforementioned New England Patriots won their season opener
Woo!
against the Houston Texans by a score of 27-20 this past Sunday. Our boy Tom Brady threw for 3 touchdowns, total of 277 yards, and showed, at least to my highly trained eye, no visible signs of rust, especially when targeting fellow offseason no-show Rob Gronkowski. He caught 7 of 8 targets for 127 yards and a touchdown. Also notable from Sunday's game, recently acquired running back Jeremy Hill left the game early, and reports came out on Monday that we now know he has a season-ending ACL tear. That's a bummer.
Yep.
Also, little trickling story out of Foxborough, like pregame, more or less, was that there was rumors this week that Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels got a 5-year contract extension, which made him the highest paid coordinator in the league at right around $4 million per year. Side note there is that teams don't have to disclose coach salaries. So it's like, you never really know how much these guys make.
Yeah.
But according to, I forget who it was that reported it, but highest paid OC in the league, basically getting head coach money. Josh McDaniels is for the Patriots. So that's worth noting.
Patriots also announced today they released 2 people,
Oh, yeah?
including the dude that muffed the punt.
Oh, number freaking 17 there?
I want to call him McGill, but I'm
McGill.
That's not right.
I'm perfectly comfortable calling him fucking McGill.
It's something Irish sounding.
Sure.
McLaren,
Yeah.
McGill.
Take a walk, McGill.
Yeah, whatever. He doesn't play for us anymore. It doesn't fucking matter
Sure
what
doesn't.
his name is.
So long, McGill. Anyways, that's it for the Patriots. Next week, they got the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Kickoff for that one, Sunday, 4:25. Be there.
Let's move on to the Red Sox, the other hot team in town. They managed, barely, to avoid a sweep at the hands of the defending World Series champions, Houston Astros, at Fenway Park this weekend. Mitch Moreland had a walk-off RBI in the bottom of the ninth to give the Sox the win on Sunday night, but the Astros definitely took the series 2-1. They're going to continue their homestand this week with a 4-game series against the Jays and then 3 games versus the Mets over the weekend. So that should push them over 100 wins.
Yeah, they got 98
right now.
Day off on Monday.
Yep. So pretty sweet. We could see that for the first time in a very long time.
What did we say? 46 was the last time?
Yeah, something like that.
Certainly not in my lifetime.
Yeah, probably not even our parents' lifetimes.
That's true, actually. Basketball team had a fairly quiet week, as you might expect, in September. 2 notable off-court exceptions. One was Ray Allen was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame right down over there in Springfield. Friend of ours texted about what percent of the guys at the Basketball Hall of Fame induction immediately went across the street to the MGM in Springfield and just fucking gambled their lives away.
100% of them.
He had some nice things to say in his speech about the 08 Celtics. He thanked Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Danny Ainge by name, did not thank Doc Rivers.
Ooh.
Apparently there's still some beef there. Other piece of notable Celtics news.
This was my favorite
little
story.
Disturbing, little sick that it was your favorite story, is that backup to the backup point guard, Jabari Bird. I mean, I would consider Terry Rozier to be the backup point guard to Kyrie Irving, but whatever. Backup point guard Jabari Bird was arrested by Boston police on Friday night and is facing a number of charges, including kidnapping and strangulation in what appeared to be a domestic violence incident in Brighton, in my backyard of Brighton.
Yeah.
Also, I just read while I was peeing just now.
Yeah. Multitasking.
Boston Sports Journal reported that he's in the hospital. He's
Yes,
still
that's
in
what
the
I was
hospital.
just about to say. He's still in the hospital, and now they won't disclose what hospital he's in. But I'm fairly certain the first report I saw
They said
said
it
he's in
was
St.
St.
E's.
E's. Yeah,
So
St.
like, I don't
Elizabeth's.
fucking know who they're hiding it from now.
Right in my backyard and your former backyard.
My former backyard. I used to live over there. Apparently that hood's gone to shit while I've been gone.
Yeah, geez, the fucking
I never-
Celtics move in, and all of a sudden we got domestic violence.
I never got
issues.
kidnapped or strangled.
Hoping the same will be true for me, but when I
Well,
get time
I
will
don't
tell.
know. Seems like things are turning. You might want to lock your doors. Hide your wife. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the Bruins. They're a little more family friendly, apparently.
Yeah.
They are participating in the NHL Prospects Challenge in good old Buffalo this week.
Sunny Buffalo.
Yikes. Their young guns will play in a 4-team round robin tournament with the Penguins, Devils, and Sabres. No real meaningful updates this week from players whose names you might recognize, other than clarifying that Patrice Bergeron's injury is a groin.
It's a groin.
Which we were questioning
It's a groin.
last week. And now we obviously know he won't be making the trip to China.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
kind of excited to see some of those China games.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're excited to see the Prospects Challenge. I was like, I don't even know how you would go about seeing the Prospect Challenge.
I'm going to go to
Short of
Buffalo and
flying
watch
to
them.
Buffalo, yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
just
we really-
drive there.
Really buried the lead on that. We should have started Bruins, obviously. That the Prospect Challenge is what
Really draws the
everybody
people
wants
in.
to hear
Draws
about.
the people in. It's very exciting. It's like a little skills competition.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're a hardcore, then that's what you're into.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it
Something.
was on TV, I'd probably watch it, but I don't think they're televising that shit.
No, but yeah, you're right. It would be something to like keep on in the background.
Yeah.
While
Why
you're
not?
like doing other shit around the house. Editing this podcast, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway.
In this case, we got Monday Night Football going on as it is Monday,
Yeah.
September 10th,
I'm
day
getting,
after the season opener for the Patriots. Where'd you like to begin here, Bernsey?
do you want to talk about how I got wrecked in my DraftKings league every fucking week? It's so irritating.
We're already on every fucking week.
Well, this isn't the first season I've played.
Yeah, you're like the Browns. You take that 17-game winning streak across multiple seasons.
Exactly. Yeah, me and the Browns, we got the same record.
Yeah, no clean slates here. Just
Winless.
carryover animosity from getting
Yeah.
screwed last year and the year before. I
Everything.
also went 0 in my suicide fucking pool. Picked the Saints. Got fucked.
I don't know why any of these people listen to us.
Well, we're not giving out gambling advice, at
No.
least not directly.
No, I'm getting fucking hosed right now just with my Monday night league.
For those listening at home, Melissa's blaming me for her DraftKings performance because I
It's
made
true.
some offside comment about Deshaun Watson being half decent. I was wrong about that, but now
Yeah.
apparently it's my fault that her DraftKings.
This was all just a circular way to get you to say that you were wrong.
So yeah, let's start there then. I was definitely wrong.
You were so wrong.
I was
Hard wrong.
picturing. I was predicting a loss.
You
Week 1
did.
loss.
You predicted the L. That's
And
not what happened at all.
Certainly
Thank
not what
God.
happened. Houston kind of looked like shit, and the Patriots looked better than I expected.
The Patriots looked much better than I expected. I agree with that. They came out strong. That, they had a 3-and-out, which was like a weird all running play.
Mm.
And then they just went straight to their bread and butter. fucking Brady to Gronk for a touchdown. It was a sick touchdown over that pylon too.
That was the double coverage corner of the end zone pylon touchdown. You skipped over the part that gave him the ball back, which is Deshaun Watson fumbling on the first snap of the 2017 season for his ass.
I didn't like that. It's
2018.
That's fine. No one's keeping score.
And on a fucking handoff, no less. Like Deshaun Watson, probably the easiest play a quarterback will ever be asked to do, short of taking a knee at the end of a game.
Yeah.
Just fucking hand it to the guy.
Right. Give it to someone else.
Puts it on the ground, recovered by, I forget what defensive player for the
Let's
Patriots.
say Trey Flowers.
And then right after the 3 and out, which if you're Houston, what a great way to start the game. You fucking win the toss, have them get the ball. Patriots 3 and out. You got the ball back. You're feeling pretty good at that point.
You've taken the crowd out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the excitement's over.
Sure.
You have a chance.
The Patriots always want to defer, so you've got like their little halftime game plan is not gonna fly.
Right.
So like you should be feeling pretty good about that. Put it on the ground.
And then, but let's talk about that putting it on the ground, because we kind of talked about this in our opening takes. I think the biggest surprise coming out of this weekend was the Patriots brought a defense with them to the game.
You know, something that we haven't yet talked about in our previous 2 episodes of like this year was I kind of was overlooking the Patricia factor. He's gone. Do you know how long he's been here?
No.
2012. Matt Patricia's been.
Really?
Well, he's been on the team since 2004, but he's been the coordinator since 2012. That's a long time.
That is a long time
for a defensive coordinator.
If you had made me guess, I would never have said that long ago.
Yeah.
That he was 5 years as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I guess I maybe would have guessed 13 or 14 or something. I mean, I know that on the 14 team, he was the defensive coordinator, like Malcolm Butler interception and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, so from like a coaching perspective, scheme perspective, I mean, Bill Belichick is a defensive guy. He was a defensive coordinator. He was that's the side of the ball that he comes from originally. Right. So you never really see drastic changes from coordinator to coordinator in Belichick's teams generally, but I think there was a little bit more, like there's a little bit of a stylistic difference. They seemed a little more aggressive, a little more like willing to get after Deshaun Watson a little bit.
Yeah. And they interestingly did not name a defensive coordinator to replace Matt Patricia. I think his name's Brian Flores is going to do the play call. But I think it speaks to exactly your point that like Bill's getting a little more hands-on, a little more involved than he might have when he has 2 tenured.
Yeah. And that was, I forget where I heard this, but I heard a report about like generally that's a Belichick move, is to promote the guy to the position, but not give the title until a year in. So Brian Flores is the de facto defensive coordinator in everything but name at this point. And yeah, I thought the defense looked great. I mean, it's yet to be determined right now whether that was a good performance by the Patriots defense or just an inept offense. We'll see how the rest of the Houston Texans season goes.
Sure.
Deshaun Watson's first game back after the ACL injury last year, he looked out of sorts. I mean, he
looked like he had an ACL injury, for Christ's sake.
He did. He looked very hesitant, very
couldn't run,
tentative. Like it was bad all around. I mean, he's coming back from an injury. I guess you give him a break, but he definitely didn't play like, the Deshaun Watson that the NFL was all hype about last year. He looked more like a scared backup.
Yeah.
He played like the way Deshaun Kaiser played for like 1 quarter in that Packers game last night after Aaron Rodgers went out. Just like, what the fuck?
This wasn't supposed to happen.
I was not prepared for this shit.
Where I don't even think I have a helmet here.
In the game?
It's anybody else. Anybody else want to do that? Oh, no, it's just me? Okay, cool. I thought a couple of things that stood out to me. I agree. The Patriots defense was aggressive. They were in there. They were pass rushing. They played a different defense.
Felt like
we've seen them a lot
around Deshaun Watson all day. They had 3 sacks on the day, but they were
in his face. Yeah. They were definitely making him uncomfortable. They had Gilmore had a great interception, just picked him right off. We obviously talked about the recovered fumble on fucking play 1, and then they blocked a punt, which is a nice special teams play.
That was nice.
I'm a sucker for
but
the special teams.
But they didn't block it. It still went through.
Well, it was a punt, but he like tipped it off of his hand.
Yeah. Right. I think there was also, maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I think there was also a field goal where someone got a hand on it and it still went through the upright. So it didn't really fucking matter. But
you know what else was a great play? It wasn't defense, but was special teams for sure.
That punt at the end of the game?
Yes.
Oh.
Jones downing the ball at the 1 yard line.
I took my pants off.
That is such like smart, aware football of like, what do you need to do? How far can you let it go? And what is the ramification of this decision that I'm making right now?
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Well, the
It was
punt
brilliant.
itself was a beauty.
Right.
It was like that was like freaking Phil Mickelson just sitting it down right where you needed to. Little scene setting. This is like very end of the game. Patriots are up. They're punting the ball back to the Texans with a little less than a minute left, right? So they like, we're going back to punt. Belichick's like leaning out, calls a timeout as the play clock expires.
Right.
So they go to punt again, boot it. And like, I don't even know the fucking punter's name. Is it Ryan Allen still?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ryan Allen freaking just booms one all the way to the corner of the opposite end zone. And it, fortunately, this is football, it happens to bounce straight up in the fucking air.
of course.
And Jonathan Jones is able to touch it right on the 1 yard line. So, you know, as if you weren't feeling pretty good at that point as a Patriots fan anyways, it was like, all right, Houston.
Go 99 yards. Knock
enjoy
yourself
the
out.
99 yards with less than a minute left, you fucking bums. Oh yeah, that was a thing of beauty.
It was great. It was perfect.
Loved it.
I mean, obviously luck plays a factor. Like
Just on the bounce though. I mean, it was an
bounce the
incredible
right
kick.
place.
And to your point, yeah, that guy like had to have the awareness to like not fuck up. Don't
panic. Don't
step into the
smuff
end
it
zone.
out of the end
Don't
zone. How
blast
many
it out
times
of
have we
bounds or
seen
anything like that.
the fucking guy kick it out because he's running too fast in
Yeah.
the ball and it takes a weird like shake at the last second?
Just because he makes it look easy doesn't mean it was. But yeah, I thought, I am, you know, we'll see about the defense. Obviously, it's just week one. You can't make any grand proclamations. And again, depending on how good or bad Houston ends up being, they have a whole new offensive line, which I don't know. On the broadcast, I forget if it was Nance or Romo, but they said that 4 of the offensive linemen from last year's Texans teams aren't even in football anymore.
Yeah.
They're just out of the league.
Yeah.
Which doesn't tell me that these guys are necessarily worse. If that was the case and 4 of your guys are just out of football, either retired or just nobody wants them, and you have 4 new guys,
They're probably
presumably
better.
that's an upgrade, right? Like,
I
so
would
the fact
assume.
that it's like, oh, there's a whole new offensive line. To me, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I necessarily think that that's an excuse. That sounds like an improvement.
I think it might only be an excuse in the way that like, do you have the chemistry and the rhythm down to like know how to respond when you see a defense that you don't like? And Deshaun Watson has played 6 games at NFL quarterback.
True.
Like, does he know how to change the play at the line as efficiently as someone like
There is
Tom
a lot
Brady
of-
or Peyton Manning?
a lot of newness there.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. It's a lot of getting to know each other. They need some team building activities.
Yeah, they got to work on their like butt taps. They got to get some secret handshakes going.
Exactly. Know when to
Learn each other's kids' names and stuff. All that crap.
bullshit.
What'd you think about the other side of the ball? Tom, etc.
I thought he kind of, you know, when you compare him to Deshaun Watson, like he looked like fucking Tom Brady and he was just like surgical and he took people down and he had presence in the pocket and he wasn't afraid to hold the goddamn thing. And he has a new left tackle, which there was a lot of talk about.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of his blind side there.
Totally.
And he looked great and they were holding people back and they weren't getting through. He got knocked down a couple of times, but
It's
it was
football.
like the third quarter before JJ Watt even got like a tackle on anybody. It's like, okay, so I guess we don't have to worry about that yet.
Well, the thing is like, these are all the same guys. I think it was week 3 or maybe 4 last year where Houston,
they
Pats
put
played
up like
Houston.
30.
And it was JJ Watt and Whitney Merciless. And we're talking about how fucking, I mean, and like the story of that game was the Pats barely won. It was that last minute Brandon Cooks touchdown play that won the game. And it was, you and I were talking about how Brady's just going to get his ass kicked. He can't survive this whole season if they can't block for him like that. And he spent the whole game on his ass.
Right. That was a different
and
story.
The defense couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed. Both of those conditions against basically the same team, because Deshaun Watson was the quarterback at that point. Like, check and check. Yeah, I think the offense looked good, not great. It's week 1, whatever.
Sure.
My whole prediction of losing the game was based around the fact that they generally get off to slow starts. So, like, I'll just chalk that up to slow starts. Brady and Gronk looked fucking automatic. Like, that was
Just
money.
Yeah, same rhythm they've always had. And Brady, I think in a classic Brady way, used all of the weapons that he had available to him. Like people were also worried about him not having Edelman, and he's throwing to James Devlin, who's a fucking fullback. Like no other team even uses a fullback anymore.
know what?
And he's like, yep, that's what I need. I'll hand it off. I'll throw it to him. He's hitting James White. Like it was just classic, like spread
it
the
out.
ball,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it to everybody. You don't know who to defend because everybody is an equal target. The other classic Brady move that happened in the game, less than 2 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
He throws it to Gronk. It's a questionable catch.
Yep.
Reviews have to come from upstairs. First of all, Bill O'Brien had
Bill O'Brien
3
standing on the sideline,
timeouts, like,
wetting himself.
You
Yeah.
don't call a timeout and give him a chance to review it. And Brady, again, knows the situation, runs everybody up. His team knows the situation. So they get up there, they get set, and they make a play. So they can't review it and they can't overturn it. And it's like, God damn it, how many times has he done that to people? And why does nobody learn? You had 3 times and you're less than 2 minutes left.
First half
What are you
timeouts,
doing?
which are like Monopoly money.
Right, who
gives a
cares?
shit?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be clear, your comments right now are directed at Texans coach Bill O'Brien, not at me. Feels like you're yelling at me.
It often does. But it's
What I was doing was watching the same thing as you.
yeah, but it's just like that's what Brady does, right?
Yep.
Like that's part of his game. And the fact that nobody can figure it out. How are we sitting at home yelling at our TV?
Nobody can figure it out. Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator of the Patriots for 5 years with Tom Brady. He, of all people,
I know.
should know that he's smart enough after a questionable catch for like a 40 fucking yard
Right.
gain that Tom Brady's going to hustle up to the line and run a quick
fucking
play,
throw
even
the
if he
play.
just spikes it.
Right, he doesn't
just
care.
to say, fuck you, don't challenge
Right.
this.
And Romeo Cornell is their defensive coordinator.
A lot of familiarity on that team, for sure. The Texans have
sorry.
been like Patriots South for like 5 years at this point.
And yet they're falling for Brady's same tricks.
Yep.
Stupids.
What a bunch of stupids.
That's what I have to say.
I
about
still
that.
think they're going to lose next week. If they win next week in Jacksonville, I will feel very good about this team.
You know, I think I would have felt more unsure about them winning in Jacksonville before the Fournette injury came up for Jacksonville.
Oh, I didn't even see that he got hurt.
So he pulled a hammy.
Oh,
It's happened to him before, but it's a recurring injury. So who knows how.
Okay.
They're not ruling him out for next week, but he's not going to be 100%.
not the most pliable guy, huh?
Yeah, he should really look at that TB12. I hear it.
Yeah.
Great. For
Gotta eat some more chestnuts and do some more stretches.
Yeah, send him a pack of Resistance fans. And they still have Blake Bortles as their quarterback.
Well, that's the elephant in the room.
If
Fucking Bortles.
Fournette is in any way hindered and the defense plays 80% as well as they did against Houston, and the Patriots have a really strong chance there.
Yeah, and this is the matchup that has always given. There's a certain archetype of AFC teams that theoretically are bad matchups for the Patriots, where the Patriots historically have had a really good offense and a so-so to okay to sometimes straight up bad defense, right?
Right.
If anything, their offense is better than their defense. By what degree depends year to year. And then there's this archetype team. It's been the Jets in the past. It's been the Bills in the past. It's been Houston recently, Jacksonville. They all fall under the same structure of teams that don't have a fucking quarterback, who have a nasty defense. And these nasty defenses are usually good for 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years, and then they kind of flame out. But like Jacksonville is that team.
Right.
Houston is that team. And it's like you get their strength against your strength and their weakness against your weakness, right? Our defense sucks. Their offense sucks. Our offense is great. Their defense is great. So there's this theoretical bad matchup or even matchup that happens. But the Patriots pretty much always win. It's just like dickheads like me are like, oh, I don't know. They might get fucking, but like they always seem to wind up on the having the upper hand in that matchup.
These games end up being like frustrating games.
Yeah, they're
lot
generally
of the time.
close-ish.
Right. They end
Even
up.
yesterday's game, Sunday's game was close-ish. 27-20. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
the
a
score
runaway.
sounds close,
It felt
but it never
comfortable the whole
felt-
time.
yeah.
But that's the thing is
Right.
that like this matchup is like this like theoretically close game, but does it ever really feel like it's in question when you're watching like Deshaun Watson or Blake Bortles struggle to fucking tie their shoes, fumbling on handoffs?
Yeah, we'll see. Jacksonville was like had so many penalties last week too.
Who did they play? Did they
The
win?
Giants. No, they won. They won. They beat the Giants though. I mean, come on. And they don't look great this year.
No,
But
but who knows?
I mean, they were just like plagued by penalties. So if they keep that up, in theory, the Patriots should be able to like tear that apart. Like that's a little thread that they can grab onto.
Oh yeah.
Because now you're gonna know like what were the Bill's gonna know what were the penalties that plagued them the most and be able to exploit that.
And I think they're definitely going to be pumped and jacked. It's their home opener.
Oh, yeah.
Against the maligned Patriots, of course.
Everyone hates us.
And like
We hate ourselves.
This is like again, all these archetypical AFC quote unquote challengers over the years. The Ravens used to do this, the Jets, everybody.
Yeah.
They get all fucking hyped up and just commit like 5 penalties in the first quarter just because they're so
Like,
fucking jacked
offsides,
that they're jumping off
false
sides.
starts.
They're like throwing themselves around.
Yeah.
This year, more than any, they're going to get some personal I bet
yeah.
that's going to happen. My hope is that they don't like take someone's head off in the process. Like on the field, sure, I'll take the flag, but I'd rather not have somebody like lose their fucking brain.
Right. Well, Patriots will grab some good PI calls, get some good field position.
Oh, yeah.
Gronk took one.
Yeah, and
I was
they'll
like,
take the personal fouls and all that
literally
stuff. I just hope it's not at the expense of Rob Gronkowski's vertebrae.
Understand.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. He's on thin ice, as is probably back there.
Seriously.
Cool. You want to move on to something else from an opening take?
Say that again.
Do you want to move
You want
on?
to change gears?
Yeah,
You want to change gears? You want to change sports?
I do.
Shit.
I want to find my notes here. Okay, here we go.
All right, let's go take a little break. We'll find our center and we'll be right back.
Look at other things up.
All right, so the baseball team.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Well,
So,
we talked about good Patriots defense.
yeah.
I want to talk about bad Red Sox bullpen.
Red Sox. Oh, God. Let me try that again. Bad Red Sox pitching. Pasty good. Sox bullpen bad.
Yeah. I'm not going to call it pitching. I'm just going to call it bullpen.
Yeah, sure.
It's
I mean,
bad.
okay, that's
it's
fair
like
enough.
the starters give them quality starts, and then you throw in the bullpen, and it is just fucking downhill
It's bad.
every time.
It's
when
bad.
you're playing good teams, the teams that like are gonna stage a comeback and like have the,
The ones
bats
that
and
matter?
the pitching. Yeah,
The teams that you'll
exactly.
be playing when the games really mean something.
Yeah, the ones that you're likely to see again in October in a 7-game series. And it does not appear that you're going to have the stamina in the bullpen to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, so again, just a little stage setting. Obviously, the Red Sox had a homestand against the Astros this weekend. They lost the first game. Bullpen blew it. Lost the second game. That was just a bad start from Eduardo Rodriguez. The Sox were behind the whole game. And then Sunday night game, most people probably were watching Sunday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers, Bears, whatever. I was watching mostly the Red Sox, and it was, yeah, I mean, David Price had a,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
good-
sorry, Rick Porcello had a perfectly good start.
David Price had a good game on Friday
Yeah,
night.
that was the Friday night game. Yeah, so
That hurts
Porcello,
to say.
perfectly good start. Like, not perfect, but
No.
certainly quality start, and hands it over to the bullpen. And pretty quickly, it's, you know, it's a whole different fucking kettle of fish. The question then becomes is, you know, not to just fucking lean on the football analogy all the time, but like, you know, we've seen Patriots teams succeed with spotty defenses, and we've seen them not succeed with spotty defenses. It's like, the question is your offense good enough to overcome your shitty, in this case, bullpen? Okay, like, can they out hit their bad bullpen?
Yeah, and but I think what's different about football is that every week you get to play a different opponent. And in baseball, it's the same opponent multiple times. So your best starters can't always be the ones to bail you out.
Good.
Like Chris Sale can't pitch every game to get you to the 8th and have Craig Kimbrell
Right.
come in and pitch 2 and shut it down. Like
You got to throw these guys
Eduardo
out there at
Rodriguez
some
is
point.
going to have to start some, and he's probably only going to make it 5 innings. And then what are you going to do? And like having the offense to beat them, sure, but they're throwing their best pitchers at you too.
Yeah, I mean, in the playoffs in baseball, generally speaking, offense comes down because
Right.
the majority of pitchers in Major League Baseball aren't great. And you then, like, to your point, like, you got to throw a lot of guys at any given game, and baseball players make their money beating up on bad pitching for the most part. But when there is, like, you know, 3, 4, 5 games against the same opponent, and you've got a manager who knows what he's doing, like AJ Hinch or Terry Francona or whatever, who
Right.
has a game plan and like an approach of how to pitch to JD Martinez, how to pitch to Mookie Betts, like,
Right.
and they're actually, you know, for lack of a better term, trying to get you out instead of just trotting some pitcher out there who, like, they just
Right.
called up the other day and just like
I
firing
need to mop
fastballs
up
and then whatever
innings.
happens. Yeah.
We got to make
Like,
it to 9, whatever.
it scares me. And I mean, you know, we'll probably watch the Red Sox this week as they play the Blue Jays and then the Mets over the weekend. And
Yeah.
I don't know, they'll probably win 4 of these next 6 games, and we'll be like, woohoo! Maybe
Easily.
there'll be another grand slam or
Yeah.
another walk-off,
Yeah.
or like we'll be all riding high. But like this Astros series was a little bit eye-opening. They're a good team.
The Astros?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are good. They're consistent.
Yeah,
You
up
know-
and down the lineup, everybody can just fucking get you.
Well, and that becomes the problem is like you can't just put your shitty guy in for the shitty pitcher in for the 7th, 8th, 9th
Yeah, no,
hitter.
there are
because
definitely no
they
holes in
can
their
mow you
lineup.
down too, and
For
it's
sure.
just like it's just one after another is going to come up and show that weakness in your pitching.
Yeah, and that's where you know, it happened the other night. It happened on Friday night where it was literally, I mean, they weren't even hitting for that, at least on the Sunday night game, which I actually like sat down and watched the whole thing. Like, they weren't really hitting for that much power. It was just base hit after base hit after base hit. It was just little grounders that found their way through holes in the infield. Like but there was no stopping. Like it was just every person in that lineup was just getting on, and eventually you're like, fuck.
Well,
4-1. Like
right.
what the fuck just happened?
And
Drew
that many
Pomeranz?
base runners like wear your starters down earlier too.
Yep.
So now you lose innings from them because they can only pitch so many pitches.
Yeah. Throw?
Like,
So many pitches? Yeah,
throw
whatever.
so many pitches. I don't know. And they only got so many cannons in the gun.
What?
Bullets in the gun.
I like how you really stepped into that
I
one.
did.
Though.
And then I was like,
you were committed.
that's not right at
You were
all.
committed to that
That's
idiom
not
no matter
right.
how it came out. That's
it's whatever.
admirable.
Thank you. Even the game they won on Sunday was
Sketchy at
questionable.
best. Sketchy at best. Like I said, Porcello with the good start.
Yeah, and then
yeah,
Altuve gets called out at home, and they challenge it, and
he was safe.
Essentially, they said like it was inconclusive, which means they won't overrule.
Yeah, it was a mistrial,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox walked free.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's a good point. That should have been the go-ahead run in whatever that was, like the 6th or something. And it remained tied, and eventually they came back. And, this team, I have more confidence certainly in this version of the Red Sox lineup, more so than last year or the year before that, to outscore a bad bullpen, but I just don't know if it's actually gonna work.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious answer is we'll see, but season series now against the Astros, they went 2-2 in that road series, and then obviously 2-1 just now. So they're
great.
just a little bit underwater. Not terrible, but underwater. I mean, if that was the playoff series, they would lose,
Right.
just like they did last year.
Exactly.
You got any more Red Sox takes?
I don't think so.
What's your note file say?
It says we should move to the lightning round.
Well, I'll take that as gospel.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Actually, I've got a. Let's take a minute. Let's slow the lightning on this first question. No, but I want to answer it. I want us both to answer it. I guess.
Yeah. This weekend, if you didn't see it, Serena Williams lost to 20-year-old Naomi Osaka in the championship round of the U.S. Open.
Fact.
But the biggest story was not just her defeat. It was her beef with umpire Carlos Ramos.
Yes.
He gave her 3 violations of escalating severity. First, a code violation for communicating with her coach. Second, a point penalty for smashing a racket on the ground. Get it, girl. And third, a game penalty.
She fucking annihilated that thing. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. That thing disintegrates.
Anyway, then he gave her a game penalty for quote unquote verbal abuse after Serena called him a thief for stealing a point away from her. Which, I mean, as far as insults go, like, talk about the tamest option you can provide.
Thief in the night.
Yeah. How dare you, sir? Besmirch my name. Anyway, she might as well have slapped him with a glove. My last one, please. Serena and many others inside and outside of the tennis world have accused Ramos's actions of being sexist. It is worth noting that Serena played the entire tournament in different variations of the same Nike outfit, which featured a fluffy tutu, which was her response to tournament officials banning her go-to catsuit outfit, claiming that she needed to dress with more respect for the game. I love her fucking tutu, which is not the question, but I am here for it.
It's basically just her throwing double freedom rockets up to the
gives
to
no
the man.
fucks. So let's talk about, is the U.S. Open sexist? And why the fuck are they jamming up Serena of all people?
Why they're jamming up Serena, I have no answer for. She is the biggest star in the sport. And when I say the sport, I mean all of tennis. I mean, you've got Nadal, but did they really move the needle?
Transcend the sport.
Serena transcends tennis. Thank you for that assist. In a way that Rafael Nadal does not, and Roger Federer did not. And it's just a fact. She's just a bigger star. Why they're jamming her up every fucking which way is beyond me. As far as the actual thing that transpired on Sunday,
Yeah.
I've got some different thoughts on it. Really, the deal is we're talking about the third penalty. Because
Right.
the first two, in a code violation. I should preface this by saying I don't know my fucking ass from my elbow as it relates to tennis. Are you a tennis player?
I'm not, but I can tell you. So one thing I can tell you is that what started this whole thing is you are not allowed to have a coach
Right.
on the field. And they were accusing her of being coached, like that he was giving her hand signals about where to stand on the court.
Which it is important to point out, the coach, I forget his name, said he was doing it. Like after the match, he was like, yeah, I mean, come on, we all do it. I was doing it. The other guy was doing it. I was doing it. So I'll take his word for it. Sure. And the refs, like Serena said which sucks for her because she's, if she like looks in that direction and someone who is not her chooses to break a rule, however common or uncommon. I mean, that does suck for Serena, but it is important. This guy's job, the judge, Carlos Ramos, is to be a judge. And if he sees a rule being broken, he's going to call it. So that happened. Then she smashes the shit out of that racket.
I know, but
which is against the rules. Like that's against the rule too. So that's like one of those things like in like hockey and stuff, you see it all the time where like someone has a hit and then like the other guy, like as retaliation, he like just hauls off and punches him in the face. And you're like, what the fuck, man? There was going to be a penalty against you.
Right.
Then you had to go and do that. Now there's a penalty at least for both of you.
Right.
It's like, so she blasts her racket on the ground. And again, leaving this guy with no choice. That's not a judgment call. Like you can't do that. Then, so here's the third thing is the judgment call. He gets her for quote unquote verbal abuse of the ref in himself for calling him a thief and saying that he should apologize and yada, yada, yada. And that's where it's like, that's where the sexism part comes in. And I should again restate, I don't know anything about tennis. I rarely watch tennis and I did not watch this match because I was busy. But like soon after this match transpired, you saw on Twitter and everywhere else, like freaking a flood of clips of male tennis players berating refs not being penalized for it, swearing and like, fuck this and this shit and whatever. Like it's important to point out Serena did not curse.
No.
The worst thing she said was, you're a thief. You stole a point from me. She was going at him for a long time. Yeah. She was giving it to him pretty good, but did not feel like there was any lines crossed there. And that's what subsequently led to like the game point.
They ended up with like the tournament operator over there.
Oh yeah. She tried to go like over his head. She went like, let me speak with your manager on him. But again, like the damage has been done. Like the head refs aren't going to be like, okay, Serena, you're
overall,
right. Even if in their like hearts and minds, they actually agreed with her and thought that the dude, you know what I mean?
It's not a court of appeals. You can't like
exactly
appeal to a higher body because you don't like his ruling.
But that in addition to the catsuit thing and all these clips over the years of male tennis players like ripping into refs and swearing and shit. There was a little weird thing where a French player in this year's tournament was penalized, giving one of those code violations, which is basically just like a warning for changing her shirt on the court.
Oh yeah,
she ran. You saw that? So she ran to the like locker room, whatever, to change her shirt because it was like 10,000 degrees.
Yeah,
and she comes running out of the bathroom and it's on backwards. So she like gets on the court. And she's like, ah, fuck, and like takes it off, like doesn't even like go over her head, like just like takes her arms out and like spins it around and puts it back on.
She's wearing a sports
underneath,
bra.
like. It was pointed out to me earlier today by I forget who, but like she was wearing more in the sports bra than like the Olympic beach volleyball players wear as like their uniforms. You know what I mean? Like plenty covered, and the dude gives her a code violation for like taking off her shirt.
I don't know if tennis is sexist, but they are stodgy, and I think it's a problem with your sport that you can't let people have fun or have personality, or like her wearing her catsuit is not traditional enough. Like, okay, well, it's not the 1920s anymore.
Yeah.
And like, she's an incredible
just loosen
athlete.
up. Like the
Who
girl
cares?
Put her fucking shirt on backwards. She was just fixing it. Like simple human error.
What is she doing
like,
that's hurting your game in any way? Like, what rule is she breaking? What? I think like they just need to loosen up a little bit. And if like she's yelling at the guy, okay, well, she's competitive and she's mad and you're taking something away from her, and you might be right, but she can also be mad. And I think it's okay to say like, hey, all right, let's get on with the game. We got to get on with the game here. But at some point, like, let her get it out and then go back to playing. You made the right call. It's fine. She probably will come back later and be like, sorry, man. Like, you know, in the heat of the moment, like you were right. Fine. He, you know, I've now talked to him and he was doing it. we don't even know that she was looking at him for her to even know that he was signaling.
Yeah, because I mean, he admitted guilt on the coaching thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Serena even saw it or solicited it.
Right.
You know, but again, it's her. I mean, it's like her coach. It's her box of
You're
people where she has over there.
responsible
So
for-
yeah. I mean, stodgy is like, I feel like that's like a couched way of saying it's sexist because like what stodgy equals old timey and old timey equals sexist and racist
Sometimes,
pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, so it could be both working against her.
yeah. But I mean, I think you're right in the sense that like the byproduct is like the I don't think any tennis ref, you know, I don't think their aim is to act in a sexist manner. But I think that the rules of the game are set up in such a way that there is a clear double standard
Yeah.
with men versus women and like I don't know. I mean, I don't fucking know the rule book, but like they're definitely not penalizing men who have to like adjust their clothing or maybe like pop their shirt above their shoulders and put it back on. Like there's just no way. Like they just wouldn't do that. So someone has to take a look at those rules and be like, this whole like respect for the game, quote unquote thing where it's just like, oh, that feels wrong. Like that's not lady. Like it feels like it's a more technical way of saying you're not acting like a lady, which is sexist as fuck. Like you can't get around that, you know?
Well, and I think, I mean, and in particular, it seemed like this guy had kind of a stick up his ass and he didn't want to be yelled at by a lady.
Upstaged by like, you know, fucking
Serena
the
Williams,
goddess of tennis. Like you can't.
I fucking hate people that can't take getting yelled at by a girl. I yell at people all day, every day. They can either deal with it or they can't. I don't know what to tell them.
Did you just get distracted by Monday Night Football?
Matthew Stafford's out.
Fucked up.
Matthew Stafford just got fucked. Watch this. I saw them on
the old hit him high, hit him low. Yeah, his intestines just turned to a liquid. One more time. Hui! Oh yeah, helmet right to the wrist. Oh yeah, that wasn't
out.
ladylike.
He's out.
No.
Great, because
All
he's
right.
on my stupid DraftKings team.
Oh,
That's
God.
terrible.
You must have done something to someone in a
gotta
past life.
Stop
You're just
gambling.
getting fucking jammed.
Can't. Every goddamn. Anyway, I'm
Should we get this lightning round back on the rails?
Sorry. You
No, don't be sorry.
can cut all that
It's
out.
a worthwhile discussion. I lost my sheet, so
I'll go. This is my favorite story of the week.
go ahead.
The Cleveland Browns snapped their 17-game losing streak yesterday. Some fun details about this streak. 1, it spans from the last game of the 2016 season, in which they went 1-15. So let's not get excited about that.
They happened to win that last game.
Yeah.
Or lose the last game,
Yeah.
rather.
They won the Christmas Day game in 2016.
Good memory.
I read it this morning.
Good memory from this morning
Yeah,
where you read
thank
about
you.
this incident.
It spanned the entire 2017
Sure did.
team. That's an 0-16 season. That's rough. And then they played the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, obviously where they tied. Number 2, they didn't win this game. They tied it. Oh, I blew that.
Yeah, you sort of gave away the punchline there. That's okay.
Yeah. You want me to
The people already knew anyways.
Okay, fine. Well, let's hope they were paying attention. Anyway, whatever. They didn't win. They tied the stupid game. So now they start their season 0-1. Technically,
Yeah.
their losing streak is over.
Snapped it.
Now they have started a new winless streak.
Winless streak stands.
They actually, though, what's pretty incredible about this game, they actually came back from down like 21-3.
Yeah.
And they made it interesting. And I could just hear assholes all over Pittsburgh clenching as they were about to lose to the fucking lowly Browns.
Yep.
They took it into overtime where they each proceeded to miss a field goal.
Oh, did both teams miss a kick?
Yeah. Both teams missed a field goal. Suckers. But if you're a Browns fan, are you celebrating it?
Oh, you gotta. You got to. How can you not? There's no guarantee that your season won't be 15-1. Like you take that one and you celebrate that one.
You know what it can't be?
What?
0-16.
It sure can.
You're better than last year
Hey,
already.
The losing streak is snapped and the winless streak lives on. But I'll take the tie.
I take the tie too. I'm pumped. That
Takes
guy
it to the house.
fucking ran it back.
One other side point,
Yeah.
which is this is a continuation of a years-long analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are an incredibly talented roster, who are coached by a fucking
Yeah. They can't do
knucklehead.
They can't get it together.
How I could go on about the fucking Steelers coaching and just how good that team should be and how bad they continuously are. With dumb regular season losses like this, which lead to bad playoff seeding, which leads to on the road and divisional round wildcard games, and just like, where are you, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Challenge us.
No, they can't. They're not
Such a better roster. They've had a better roster than the Patriots for like
forever.
3 years, at least.
I actually, texted on our group text yesterday. If Pittsburgh loses this game, their season's over. Like, that would be such a moral,
Dude, Ben Roethlisberger
like an
threw,
actual defeat
100
and such
picks,
a moral defeat. Like, you would not be able to overcome
but
that.
they might as well have lost. Like, if you're a
Yeah,
Pittsburgh fan,
it's the
are you
same.
taking any solace in
No,
the fact that it
you're
was a
pissed.
tie and not technically
You're
a loss?
pissed.
Like, come on.
You got two different fan bases, one that's celebrating and popping corks, and one that is just like ending it all.
Yeah, which hilariously, same outcome for both teams.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Next question. This one's for you.
Yes.
Jimmy Garoppolo
Yes, I've heard of him.
was handed his first NFL loss yesterday against the Minnesota Vikings on the road. He threw for a total of 261 yards. Okay, 1 touchdown. All right. 3 interceptions. Not great. One of which was a pick 6. Melissa, I ask you, are you still on the Jimmy G train?
I sure am, Craig.
Oh boy.
I sure am. Because you know why?
Why?
That man can't lose. Look at him.
Well,
He's a doll. He's just winning at life.
it's a sort of
doesn't even matter.
abstract definition of the term lose there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he just lost.
I'm just taking it.
just happened.
But and you know what? Yeah, he gets an L, but he walks away and he's still fucking Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's true.
He's still living a better life than either of us.
That's true. That's true.
So-
I don't know why you have to take personal shots, but that is true.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
No, he also played a great team. Minnesota was a good team. They were a playoff team last year.
Oh yeah,
On the
NFC
Buffalo
Championship game. They got
playoff games.
pasted
See?
by the Eagles in the NFC Championship
Oh,
game.
yeah, stupid
But that
Eagles.
was the Minnesota
See,
Miracle against the Saints. That was the divisional round.
Oh yeah.
onto
Oh,
the-
good memory by you.
Yeah. Well,
See,
I date an Eagles fan, so
And I've blocked it all. But they're a good team, and so it's not surprising that he struggled against them. It's also his first season opener
Yeah,
with
for
that
sure,
team.
for
Like
sure.
we'll see how he does as the season.
the ride had to end at
progressed
some
on.
point. 5 wins in a
We're
row
not
last season.
predicting him to go 16-0.
Well, some people are,
Well, they're wrong.
just not this guy.
More quarterback questions.
Hit me.
Aaron Rodgers left the Packers-Bears game on Sunday night with what appears to be a lower leg injury. The Packers looked out of sorts until Rodgers miraculously returned in the second half, led the Pack to 3 unanswered touchdowns, and ultimately won the game 24-23 in their season opener. Right now, 2018, as we stand, who would you rather have, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Melissa, you might be surprised to know that I would rather have Tom Brady. In 2018, when I think if you were just looking at raw skills alone, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers in 2018 is better pretty much all around than Brady,
Sure.
except for in one big area, ability to stay on the fucking field. Like if I had to win any given single game, I might take Rodgers. I don't know. I would at least entertain it. But if I'm starting a season and I got to play 16 regular season games
Yeah.
and then playoff games, I'll take Brady. I'll take a 41-year-old Tom Brady who knows how to bail out of busted plays before getting pasted by Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And knows when he's fucked, and he just spikes it and lives to see another snap. He did it a couple times against Houston. He was like, "Gah!" and just fucking threw the ball on the ground. It's not a proud moment for any of us.
No, but it's gotta happen.
Him, us, the whole Patriots nation is just like, come on, you sissy.
better
But
than
you know
that.
what? He's there on the next play. He's there in the next week. He's there every fucking year.
Yeah.
I'll take
Okay.
Tom.
Knock on wood for all of that.
Also, speaking of quarterback injuries, I don't know if you caught it in our last little segment there, but breaking news, Matt Stafford's dead.
It was very distracting all of a sudden.
Yeah, it sure was. Took our Serena. You can see why we don't care about tennis, because one little
Yeah.
thing happens on an out-of-market football game and we're distracted from the tennis conversation.
This game, I know this is what we're talking about, but obviously we're recording on Monday night. The first Monday night game is on.
Yeah.
And like
Detroit,
the
New
stupid
York.
Jets are fucking smoking the Detroit Lions right now. It's like 38-17.
38? Holy shit. Oh, there's our boy Matt Patricia.
Looking all fat and losing. Anyway. That's
Next
me.
question. All right. Speaking of fat and losing, Texans coach Bill O'Brien was a bit pissy in his post-game press conference after losing to the Patriots on Sunday. He was asked about a controversial 30-yard reception that Rob Gronkowski had late in the first half.
Yeah.
Which probably
We talked about
should
it.
have been reviewed.
Yeah.
May have been overturned. We'll see. We won't see, but we would have seen, even though it was called a catch on the field. When asked about why he didn't call timeout, of which he had 3 in the first half, all left at his disposal at the time. Why he didn't call a timeout to give the ref some time to look over the call, he responded, "It's not my job."
What the fuck?
Which, subtext, It is his job. He's the head coach of the team. If you see the questionable catch for a 40-yard gain and you see, like we were talking about earlier, Brady running up to the line to call a play and you have 3 first half timeouts, use one.
No, look around. No one else is putting their hands together.
Your job, Bill, is to win the game.
Yeah, those people next to
By
you
any
are,
means necessary.
people in the stands are clapping. They're not calling the timeout for you, buddy.
Anyways, my question to you is, will the Bill Belichick coaching tree ever produce someone who doesn't suck?
No, I don't think it will.
You better hope it produces at least one.
Well,
Joshy McD.
that's what I was just about to say. I actually think Josh McDaniels will be the most successful when he takes over for Bill.
So you think his second crack at head coaching? He coached the Tebow Broncos.
He sure
Let's
did.
not forget.
Yeah, to a playoff win.
God's team. Against who was that win against? The Mike Tomlin shit-ass Pittsburgh Steelers.
It all comes
who
back.
lost to Tim
It
Tebow, the
all
worst
comes
quarterback
back.
of all fucking time.
Anyway, no, I don't know. I hope for our sake, I guess, that Josh McDaniels ends up being successful because we're going to need him.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I just wonder if there's more to being successful than just like your own abilities as a coach, right? It's like the players that are drafted. If you don't have complete control over the team, where your owner is willing to spend money, is there like a president of operations?
Sure, totally.
That's getting in the way. And I think those factors will be removed in
Josh's
New England.
case?
Yeah. And so, it'd be interesting to see what he can do
Right.
in a situation where there aren't these other variables that are uncontrollable by the coach in some ways.
Word up.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Let's hope.
Next.
Yep. This is a good one. Current Montreal Canadiens head coach, former Bruins head coach, Claude Julien, traded his captain and best player in the middle of the night last night. Real shady. He sent Max Pacioretty to the Las Vegas Knights.
Yep.
Making them even better. Way to go, Claude. Since taking over the Habs, Claude has led them to a first-round playoff exit in 2017, and they did not qualify in 2018.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs.
Also worth noting that after Julien was fired from the Bees in 2017, when the team was below the playoff line, and they rallied to make the Stanley Cup playoffs that year. What?
The Bruins got better once Claude left.
Okay, good. Why does Claude hate offense so much?
The guy hates talent like no one I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand it. He hated Phil Kessel, who's awesome. He hated Tyler Seguin, who's awesome. He hated Dougie Hamilton, who's kind of a softie, but was
He's
pretty
kind of a
awesome.
bitch.
But
Yeah.
I don't know why he hates offense so much. He just hates it. He can't stand guys who score goals. It's wild.
He wants everyone to be over 30 and just
Yeah.
play like a slow meandering
Just jam in the
between
corners,
the blue lines.
like it's the fucking 80s. I don't know. I mean, it
No
won him a cup.
helmets.
It won him a cup. I guess it won him a cup. But I mean, holy smokes, does that guy hate talent?
Well, and he's got such job security in Montreal too, because they only will allow coaches that speak French. It really limits
Unreal.
their pool, and it's only getting
Unreal.
smaller. I should learn French. Maybe I could get that job.
You'd be instantly meeting one of their qualifications. Fastest way to meet a head coaching qualification in all of sports.
Yeah.
Speak
Hold on
French.
a
You
minute. I
can
got to get a Rosetta
coach the
Stone
Habs.
going over here.
All right, you had one more late breaker, right?
I have two.
2. All right.
One, former Cowboy Des Bryant tweeted during the games yesterday that he thinks he would look great lined up next to Edelman, Gronk, Hogan, etc. And because he would only have one-on-one coverage and can make a great impact. He also thought Washington would be cool too. I'm not sure.
Sure. Throw in.
He didn't give any specifics around that. Would you sign Des Bryant?
In short, not right now. Longer form, I like that he's being so picky about his teams because it's like best of both worlds. We can not sign Des Bryant
Yeah.
unless needed. And if he's being really picky about who he wants to sign with, i.e. he only wants to play for us,
Yeah.
it's like he's already on the team. It's like he created this dynamic where he only wants to play for the Patriots. That's great for the Patriots. That's like more reason. He should be saying the opposite if he wants the Patriots to sign him to create some urgency.
Yeah, he should be saying he wants to
He'll
go to
I'll
the
play
Jets.
for fucking anybody. First
Yeah.
one that picks up the phone, I'm going. The Patriots might then say, shit, Des might be going to a team. We should call him.
Okay, that's
But
good.
he's not
You
doing
think
that, so that's fine.
You think he can pick up the offense quick enough?
I don't know. We'll see.
It's always been kind of a problem around here. Is people seem to struggle with
Yeah,
that.
some people get it, some people don't. There's never really been any rhyme or reason that I could tell. But yeah, I mean, if someone gets hurt, I'd take him for sure.
Yeah, he's very active on social media, so you can follow along and see what he thinks. Yeah. And then my second question is for you. This broke right before the Patriots game yesterday. Ian Rappaport reported that Gronk was apparently going to be traded during the offseason. They had a couple deals ready to go. And he basically nixed them by saying that if they traded him, he would walk away and retire. He only wanted to play for this team, this coach, and catch balls from Tom Brady.
Love it.
Do you think that he was bluffing? And should the Patriots have called him on his bluff if he was?
The follow-up question is good. I think he probably was bluffing because, like, if the Patriots traded him, I don't think he would have retired. I think he would have still played. But by saying that, he basically kills his own trade market because who the fuck is going to trade for a guy who is saying that he's going to retire if he puts on your uniform? Like, so he just killed his own trade market because I would say most players don't want to be traded. Like, they generally don't want to, like, pack up and move to some godforsaken team somewhere. Like, who knows?
Right.
So, yeah. But I don't think, like, just because their Patriots are smart. They probably knew he was bluffing, but they're not just going to trade him out of spite just because they know that he's lying. You know what I mean? Like, the best thing for the Patriots to do is make Rob Gronkowski happy and keep him on the field.
Yeah. Yes. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the best thing for the Patriots is to have Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski teaming up
together,
catching touchdowns.
Yeah, baby.
Great. Perfect.
Hey, well, this was fun.
Yeah, this was a good time.
You got the Patriots in week 2?
I do. Yeah, I got them against Jacksonville.
All right. Yet again, I'm picking the opposition. So we'll see how this goes.
Sooner or later, you'll be right.
I've so far picked 2 NFL games. I picked the Saints in my Suicide League. Nope. Picked the Texans in week 1. Also nope. So I'm just doubling down on my pre-existing takes. And
what do you got in the Cleveland game?
Who are they playing? I'll take whoever it is. Don't even look it up. Don't even look it up.
Well, now I want to know.
All right. Well, cool. I'll see you next week, Melissa.
Yeah. Bye, Craig.
Adios.